On this day, we've arrived at one of Bangkok's most famous shopping destinations, Central Chidlom. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, come on, it's just a department store. And yes, technically it is. But this isn't just any department store. Central Chidlom is basically where the central story began. So today, we're visiting a place that is not only important to Bangkok shopping history, but also important to the history of the entire Central Group itself. Central Chidlom first opened its door all the way back in 1973, which makes it one of the oldest central locations in the entire country. It became the flagship department store of the Central Group and helped transform modern retail shopping in Bangkok. At the time, they built it on a plot of land covering about 7 rai with an internal investment budget of just 80 million baht. Now compare that with their other massive modern mega malls, and 80 million seems like absolute pocket change. Over the decades, though, it has undergone multiple intense renovations and expansions to keep up with the changing tastes and expectations. In fact, they recently dropped a casual 4 billion baht on a massive top-to-bottom facelift. Most recently, it received a major renovation that completely modernized the building while still beautifully maintaining its historic role as one of Bangkok's most iconic department stores. And unlike many of the new essentials we visited on this road trip, this one feels much more focused. There is no giant entertainment complex here. It's not an entire lifestyle city. It is proudly, purely just a high-end department store. Central Patong mimics this style as well. Back when it debuted in the 70s, it shattered everyone's expectation because it introduced the concept of one-stop shopping to Thailand. It was the very first department store in the country where you could buy luxury makeup, shoes, groceries, and home decor all under one single roof. It completely reshaped how Thai people shop. Size-wise, the store is incredibly compact and vertical compared to the massive mega malls we usually visit. The building itself contains roughly 7 to 8 retail stores packed with fashion, beauty, home products, books, gifts, and just about everything luxury you can imagine. To make it even more unique, they brought in top-tier architects from the UK, the US, Japan, and Thailand to design completely different zones. Central Chidlom is located right in the absolute dead center of downtown Bangkok. It's placed there for a peak convenience for Mr. and Mrs. Rich, and of course for their darling nepos. Let's talk a little bit about Chidlom. The name Chidlom literally translates to close to the wind or touching the breeze, which came from the geographical layout of the area, originally a vast, open and airy rural expanse in the early days of Bangkok before it was heavily developed. It sits right in the heart of Pathomwan district, which is one of the city's most important commercial and high-end shopping areas. Historically, back in the day, this whole district was full of expensive royal residence, lush orchids, and peaceful canals. It was where the city's elite went to build their summer getaways because it caught the perfect breeze coming off the nearby river basins. As Bangkok rapidly expanded, Chidlom gradually became one of the city's most prestigious upscale districts. Today it is surrounded by luxury 5-star hotels, massive office towers, embassies, even more mega shopping malls, and enough brutal traffic to test the patience of an absolute saint. Thank you for all the taxi drivers out there. It's directly connected by the BTS SkyTrain and serves as one of Bangkok's major shopping hubs. If you've ever walked around this area, you've probably accidentally spent far more money than you intended. I know that for a fact. The longer I stayed outside of my room, my phone started overheating from all the scanning. As we explored further into the upper levels, you really start noticing how completely different the atmosphere feels compared to many of the provincial malls we've seen all this trip. One thing that Central Chidlom has become known for is its carefully curated selection of products. Rather than simply filling up raw floor space with as many random retail stores as possible, this department store focuses heavily on premium brands, exceptional design, quality products, and unique selections. You can easily tell they're aiming for a completely different experience for your average shopping center. Everything feels a little more refined, a little more curated, and significantly more dangerous for those fancy cars of yours. Eventually, we found ourselves at Sanrio gift gate. Now, I may have spent slightly more time here than I would like to admit, and you may or may not be seeing more of this. There is something about walking into a stall filled with Hello Kitty, Cinnamon Roll, Chromie, My Melody, and all their little friends that immediately destroys whatever self-control I had moments earlier. Everything is so cute. The aesthetics here is so incredibly bright and cheerful. It is a complete vibe shift from the quiet, serious, luxury floors downstairs. If you need a quick boost of pure serotonin and like the pastel aesthetics during your shopping trip, this is the exact coordinates you need to head towards. The higher floors are where the mall starts leaning heavily into premium lifestyle elements, gadgets, home decor, and incredible spaces meant for creative minds, which brings us directly to our next major destination. Welcome to B2S. Calling this place a regular bookstore is a complete understatement. This is a massive, premium lifestyle and stationery wonderland. One of my favorite places to casually wander around. I can just spend hours just looking at pens because, let's be honest, bookstores and stationery shops possess a very unique, highly magical ability. I always walk in wanting to buy absolutely everything in sight and somehow walk away with absolutely nothing. It's an art form called controlled impulsiveness. Now, a B2S is a guaranteed staple in most, if not all, central malls across Thailand, but the design here is absolutely stunning. They've laid it out with these gorgeous, sprawling rows of books, art supplies, high-end gadgets, and design materials. If you're a student, a creator, or just a notebook hoarder, this place is very dangerous for you lot. It always feels like a place full of endless possibilities. Books, art supplies, journals, office supplies, creative projects you'll definitely 100% start one day. Probably finish, maybe. Eventually, it's the ultimate zone to lose track of an hour just staring at different shades of highlighters. After that, we stopped at Good Goods. If you haven't heard of them before, they are a non-profit social enterprise under the Central Group. They travel all across the country to find different local Thai communities, find traditional artisans who are making incredible crafts, and then collaborate with them to redesign their products with a sleek, modern, contemporary twist. All the profits from this store go directly back to those exact local communities to support sustainable livelihoods. I do hope they actually go through with that promise. Thailand has so many talented craftspeople producing beautiful handmade goods, textiles, home decorations, and accessories. It's so nice seeing a premium space dedicated entirely to showcasing those products. Plus, it gives visitors and tourists a genuine chance to support local communities while bringing home something a little more meaningful than your average generic souvenir. It is a great example of how a luxury flagship store can use its massive platform to uplift local Thai craftsmanship. Everything feels ultra premium and high fashion, but it carries a real beautiful story straight from the provinces. Eventually, after all the walking, typing, and retail therapy, it was officially time for lunch, and today's choice was a spot on the very top floor. We went to this place called Loafers. Never seen them in other stores. It's where you get a card at the entrance and use it to order your food as you go and pay at the exit. I'd ordered the lasagna. It's obviously not as good as when my mom makes it, but it was good enough for the moment. It was hot, cheesy, and exactly the kind of heavy carb load I need to recover from walking up and down all those floors. Overall, Central Chidlom left a massive impression. It's your savings account is not good enough here, and you are almost not qualified to be here. It is incredibly stylish and beautifully organized, but it's definitely tailored for more premium luxury than for the everyday local folks. Still, it remains one of the historical places that truly helped shape modern shopping culture in Thailand. And that is our visit to Central Chidlom. We were in Bangkok for a while, so I'll do my absolute best to keep the upcoming city episodes fresh and not make them repetitive for you all. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another stop on the Thailand Central road trip.